Welcome. So this is the adult level 1 class 5A. So that means the first half of class 5 for adult level 1 students. Rising knee and front kick. Okay, let's get right to it. So you can practice these strikes from your fighting stance or from your horse stance. The benefit of doing this from the horse stance is that you're neutral, meaning you're not favoring one side over the other. So you're going to develop some really good skill on both sides of the body, which is important because you never know which side of the body you're going to be able to use. Okay, so let's start from the horse stance. Okay, so from this horse stance position, remember, follow those 4 white belt rules always, no matter what stance you're in. Knees bent, back straight, hands up, eyes forward. Okay, from this horse stance, we're going to practice rising our right knee straight up. And I realize that's my left knee, but I'm going to mirror so you guys can see this from the proper angle. Okay, so we're going to practice rising the knee straight up, right there. Okay. Then we're going to do the same thing with the opposite leg. Come straight up, keep it right in the center of your body, keep your knee at least at belt or waist or hip level, okay? That way your balance is going to be maximized. A lot of times if the knee is down lower, it's a little bit more difficult to stabilize, okay? So we're going to keep the knee at belt level or even just a little bit higher, especially to work on the muscle development, which helps stabilize our position. So back to the horse stance. So let's do a set of 10 of these. Okay, so we're just going to come up from horse stance to what's called flamingo position. Okay, so ready? 1, back to the horse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Okay, cool. So the rising knee strike is a little different than just doing a flamingo, okay? So the flamingo stance, again, being that first chambered position of actually kicking. That's the flamingo, okay? So the rising knee is just a little different where we're actually using the knee to strike. So when we do the rising knee, we actually want to tuck the foot back a little bit. Where in a flamingo, we don't always tuck the foot back like that, okay? So that foot is going to be tucked back out of the way so that the knee is the thing that predominantly sticks out the most because that's going to be your striking area, okay? So the rising knee comes straight up. There are knee strikes that go more forward. There's knees that can be used to actually come around, what we call like a crescent knee. There's even roundhouse knee where it comes around a little bit more horizontally and hits in from the side. Okay, so in our rising knee our rising knee strike, we're going to keep that foot back. We're going to rise the knee straight up, assuming that the target is horizontal, okay? And that our knee is going to come up and hit it from underneath. This might be somebody who's trying to grab onto you, and they're not quite there, and the head is over. You can use the chest as a target. The body is like the stomach or the solar plexus, or even actually the face, okay? So when we do this rising knee strike to the air, we practice by giving ourselves just sort of this contact point. So I'm going to put my hands straight out in front of me, crossed over each other. And I'm going to bring my knee up. 1, just like that. 2, cool. I'm going to do a little bit from the side now so you can see that foot tucked back. 3, okay? I'm in my fighting stance right now. That's okay. If you do it from your horse, you're just going to be neutral. Okay, so here we go. So up, connect to those hands. You can even get it now where your coordination starts to develop more, where you can pull the hands down as the knee rises up. Boom, okay, just like that. That would be maybe me simulating pulling a target forward as my knee is coming into it, okay? So let's do a set of 10, again, from the horse stance. We'll do a set of 10 from our left fighting stance, meaning our left foot is in front. We'll do another set of 10 from our right fighting stance with our right foot in front. Okay, here we go. Ready? Horse stance position. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Okay, let's go left fighting stance. So only the right leg is going to do the knee this time. Okay, ready? Here we go. 1. And notice I'm putting more hip thrust into this, and I'm pulling the hands down and in together this way. Okay, ready? 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, switch sides. So now right fighting stance. That means our right foot is in front in our fighting position. Okay? Ready? Left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. So on that last set, I didn't really pull too much with the hands. I was more or less just working on the leg rising up. The stability is really important. I didn't go very fast because you don't need to go fast. Slow and strong, not fast and wrong, okay? So the way that you land, the width of the shoulders, maybe a little bit past the width of your shoulders with your stance, okay, that's pretty good for keeping stability and being able to respond right away, again, with maybe 2 strikes in a row. Instead of letting the leg sort of swing down and behind you and letting gravity and momentum pull you into a certain position, that can get a little messy, a little off balance, and really the ultimate goal of self-defense is to be able to control your own movements before you can control somebody else's, okay? So stance work is super, super key. Okay, so now extending the knee into a kick, okay, the front kick. So there's a couple ways to contact with the front kick. We can contact with the top of the foot where the shoelaces are. That's called the instep. That's a great kick to use for a horizontal target. Horizontal target in this case could be the groin coming up from underneath between the legs. It could be the body leaning over. It could be the face leaning over, something like that. Okay, so the ball of the foot is the other target. When you do the ball of the foot, you still keep your ankle pointed down just like you would at an instep kick, but you curl the toes back. Okay, so you have those toes curled back. So the ball of the foot is the thing that sticks out the most. And when you hit with the ball of the foot, it's very piercing, okay? And it takes a lot of energy that's all moving at once, and it focuses it into one small little pinpoint area. And that's why it becomes so piercing and so effective, especially when you kick like the solar plexus or maybe like the leg into like a soft tissue area, or gosh, really kind of anywhere. It's pretty effective. It's a pretty solid kick. Okay, so we're going to go from our horse stance again. So we have our flamingo, then we kick, then we come back to a flamingo, and we set down. So there's 2 flamingos in every kick. So we'll count the pieces of the kick. Here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so from the side, you can see my foot is directly under my knee. Whereas in that rising knee strike, we had the foot pulled back, right? Because we were trying to hit with the knee and keep the foot out of the way. But right now, the foot is directly under the knee, getting ready to extend out to the target. As the foot is coming up under the knee, I'm already pointing the ankle and the toes in the proper position for contact, okay? So let's count the pieces here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? A good front kick doesn't need to be high. Matter of fact, the higher you kick, the more you kick, it's believed the more off balance and the more vulnerable you are, because it takes your foot longer to get back to the floor. In Kempo, one of the laws of Kempo is the law of kicking, and a piece of that law is keeping kicks at our own waist level or lower, because that's where we can maximize most of our torque and most of our mass, and also we can get our foot back to the ground pretty easily. Plus, if you think about the targets that are at your waist level or lower, these are some pretty crucial targets. Groin, the knee, even being able to stomp into the ankle or kick into the ankle for somebody is enough to get them to move their legs, bring their body into position, and then you can strike with your upper body to the upper body, okay? So, so let's go back to the horse stance. We're gonna do a set of 10 of these, okay, ready? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Keep it mellow. We're just working on the formation of everything, not the speed, not the power right now. That's not our concern. Okay, so let's go into fighting stance. So left fighting stance, Left foot is in front, right leg's going to do all the kicking, okay? So remember those 4 white belt rules again. Knees bent, back straight, hands up, eyes forward. Okay, ready? Right leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Let's go to the other side. Right fighting stance, left leg's kicking. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay. So again, don't worry about the snap, the speed, the power. Get the technique down first. Okay, the sequence of the movements, proper technique. Get your balance and stability down. The other stuff will follow, especially as we go through the curriculum over and over, and we just kind of layer skill on top of skill on top of skill. Okay, so those are our rising knee. That's our rising knee and our front ball kick. Okay, or again, the front instep kick we didn't do, but we talked about the position of it. Okay, if there's questions on the knees, the kicks, obviously connect with your instructor and we'll take care of those questions. But for now, repetition is always going to be the key to doing it great. So grab an empty space somewhere where you're safe. Make sure there's no kids running by in front of you. Practice those kicks. You can even grab a partner and just have them stand in front of you. And you can just aim at different targets without actually contacting them. Make sure there's plenty of space. But use something as a visual if you need to. And if you don't, then just give it the repetition that you need. Okay, great. So we'll be back with the next class soon. So check in for the next video, and great job.